Hello, I'm Tim Krul. Welcome to Norwich City Central.
Hello everybody, Lewis, Norwich City Central. Hope you're doing well and welcome back to Norwich City Central. Firstly, before we get into this match preview, which I am slightly peeing my pants about, I can't lie. I want to say thank you for all the support on the channel. All the support for the Liverpool game was great. Lots of subscribers and lots of interaction. It's been great fun. So thank you to everyone who has supported the channel recently. And yeah, I'd love to hear your thoughts down below in the comment section about Man City. And yeah, I stand by that. I am bricking it for this game. I think when you're coming up against one of the best Premier League teams, it does make you fearful, but this is probably a good opportunity and a good time to play Man City, and you never know, stranger things has happened, and mainly for this game I'm just looking forward to seeing a couple thousand Norwich City fans in the away end. It's been 18 months since Norwich City away day, so I'm looking forward to seeing the away fans hopefully make some noise, and hopefully there'll be plenty to celebrate from a Norwich City perspective. But as always in these match previews, I like to talk about the opposition and then Norwich and where the game's going to be won and lost. And I am starting to scrabble my brain thinking about where this game's going to be won or lost. But to be honest, I think this Norwich game could potentially be on the same. We talk about Man City being an expert team and whatnot, but I think this Liverpool game could possibly be harder. I think Liverpool might finish above Man City in the league, so we've got that. But looking at this Man City team, yeah, full of talent, I look at the stats and my heart does break a little bit when I see that the Man City team costs over £1 billion in terms of players. It's absolutely ridiculous. And look, don't get me wrong, they've spent over £1 billion in players, and in terms of shirt sales, in terms of their financial success, of course they've made profit on it. But when you see a team spend £1 billion on players, it just blow your mind a little bit. And of course, yeah, a lot of talent throughout the whole team. Ederson in goal, we've seen be brilliant over the years. Ruben Dias, probably the best Premier League centre-back, alongside Virgil van Dijk. And in midfield, just a ridiculous range of options. I'm going to start naming them, but I'm probably going to forget a few. You've got Sterling, Mahrez, £100 million Jack Grealish, Kevin De Bruyne, Gundogan, Torres, Riyad Mahrez, Phil Foden. All those players who can play in that kind of central midfield and attacking roles as well, and out wide. It's just absolutely ridiculous. But a couple of positions Man City probably needed strengthening is central defence and midfield. Fernandinho's 34, 35 years old now, and you know that position maybe could be strengthened a little, and up front as well. I think they're going to be having a lot of times this season where they play a false nine, maybe Kevin De Bruyne in that up front role, maybe Sterling up there. They've only really got Gabriel Jesus, and I'm not totally convinced Pep Guardiola wants to start him. So that's the Man City team, so much danger. And of course, in their last game, they lost 1-0 to Tottenham Hotspur, Harry Kaneless Tottenham Hotspur, and Tottenham were by far the better team, and Man City were really poor. They didn't look sharp. They looked like they had no pre-season. It was a really poor display. So it could go over one of two ways. Obviously, Man City might put another poor performance in again, or they might really want to, run riot and make sure their season starts here. And I probably suspect the latter in my heart. But Man City, a couple of players injured as well. Kevin De Bruyne has just come back from injury. I know Phil Foden's injured, Gundogan's injured, and a couple of other players as well. So maybe it's a good time to play Man City. And I probably think it is from a Norwich perspective. I think with Norwich having a really disrupted pre-season, I think it's good to play the tougher teams at the start of the season where there's a bit more unpredictability, rather than play, your Brentfords and your Watfords and have your 6-pointers then. Get those tough teams out of the way, and you might be able to pull a shock. So I think it's probably a good time for Norwich to play Man City. And of course, Man City have got a couple of injuries in Gundogan and Phil Foden, but they are a seriously talented team, and I am absolutely bricking it. So much quality throughout the midfield areas, the way they move the ball, the pace, the energy. So it's going to be a really tough game from a Norwich perspective. And Norwich, of course, are going to have to sit back and try and counter Manchester City, which will be difficult. From a Norwich perspective, 3-0 loss to Liverpool at Carrow Road, but goodness me, was it just beautiful to be back at Carrow Road. I've uploaded my match day experience onto the channel, and yeah, it was just brilliant to see yellow and green scarves in the sky, on the ball City, just that raucous atmosphere. And you miss the little things as well, like telling the liner he's and then using plenty of poor choice of words. And you just miss all those little things, and just saying, hi to the people around you. You really do miss all those tiny things. So, yeah, the Liverpool game wasn't great, and I think you could tell from the 60th minute Norwich were absolutely shattered, and we talk about Daniel Farke's substitutions, and this was probably the one time when you're crying out for some early substitutions because of the pre-season. But no, from a Norwich City perspective, the first hour they played really well in that 4-3-3 formation, trying to play their way of football, passing out from the back, and it looked really, really good, Norwich, in that first hour, and then it kind of slightly deteriorated towards the end. But be interesting to see what Daniel Farke does going forward, because that 4-3-3 probably will be played in this game. I can see it being played, but after that, I'd really love to see a 4-2-3-1 with Zulish, Rashika, and Cantwell in the middle. That does things to me that I really, really like that, and I think that could be really successful going forward. And there'll be some team selection dilemmas for Daniel Farke, of course. Do you continue playing that 4-3-3? Do you want to be a bit more adventurous and maybe take Lucas Rupp out and start Zulis for his first competitive game? There's plenty of decisions to make from Norwich perspective, and it'll be really interesting to see. But it will be about being disciplined at the back. Ben Gibson and Grant Hanley and the whole back line had a really good game. Dimitri Giannoulis was probably the pick of the bunch, actually. I thought he was excellent against Mo Salah, and they're going to have to be against Man City. You're going to have to be switched on, disciplined, and all those things, and just hope you don't have moments of hilarious luck going against you. But yeah, Norwich just need to continue to be compact, tight, and be a bit of a shithouse. And the Liverpool game, 14 fouls from Liverpool compared to 3 from Norwich. Don't be afraid to take Man City out, disrupt the play. You've got Billy Gilmore in there, who's going to be our central defensive midfielder, although you'd probably want to see him play alongside a central defensive midfielder. But yeah, disrupt the play, make it difficult for Man City, and you never know what can happen. But in terms of how you win this game, I'm kind of hushing the same things as I did against Liverpool. There's two things. A, you need a bit of luck when you play against the top teams. And if you look at Liverpool's first 2 goals, Mo Salah miscontrols it and it falls to Diego Jota. And the second goal, an off-field shot from Mane, ends up falling to Salah somehow, and then Firmino's unmarked in the middle. So you need a bit of luck, and you also need to be clinical. Again, referring to that Liverpool game, we kind of withhold the pressure. We play okay, but withhold the pressure, and then early in the first half, Timo Pukki goes through and, just got to square it, and it's 1-0 Norwich. So they're the two things. You need to be clinical, and you need to have a lot of luck going your way, especially when it's against Man City. But yeah, really interested to see how Norwich play it. As I said, it's going to be that case of soaking up the pressure, trying to play out from the back, and then maybe hitting them on the counter attack. Rashita looks really good, a lot of pace. Josh Sargent for Timo Pukki is something I'd probably like to see. I think Josh Sargent looks more match fit than Timo Pukki at the moment, and you sign Sargent for these kind of games when Pukki is a little bit off it. So yeah, that's what I'm thinking in terms of a score prediction. Yeah, I'm going to go 3-1 Man City, although we do have a good record against Man City. We don't have a good record against the likes of Liverpool and Chelsea off the top of my head, but against Man City, we won at the Etihad a few years back. I don't think we've lost at Carried against Man City in 2 or 3 games in a row, which is saying something. So yeah, that's my score prediction. I'm going 3-1 Man City with Josh Sargent to score. But it's going to be a difficult one, and I'm just hoping that more Man City players are injured to give Norwich the best possible chance. And Norwich's season properly starts, in my opinion, against Leicester. But I'd love to hear your thoughts down below in the comment section. Subscribe to Norwich City Century if you're new. I'll do the Josh Sargent pose, and I'll see you later.